Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we are here to discuss the brand new Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator Foundation. Yes, I had to read that off of the tube. Let's do it again, shall we? Crisp dollar bill to anyone who can do it by memory. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator Foundation. It's a mouthful, and it's also a faceful. It is the third or fourth. We have had a rash, in a good way, a good rash, if there is such a thing, of foundation releases at starting off the year. You know, it had been a minute for some really big foundations, but we got a lot and they keep coming. The first two big ones disappointed a lot of my drier skinned friends out there. The Fenty was matte, the Fenty powder was matte, and the Gucci was matte. Loving the Fenty. Gucci's a little bit too high maintenance, but it is Gucci. It's born to be high maintenance, but I'm really loving these 50 shades that the Fenty Beauty Foundation comes in, and it's really comfy and pretty. But no matter how I like it or don't like it, my subscribers and friends out there with dry skin were not feeling it. So thankfully, we have a few foundations coming up in the next few days that are definitely more targeted for drier or normal to dry skins. The first being this Urban Decay offering, and then tomorrow or the next day I'll have the new one up by BECCA, so please stay tuned, hit the bell so you can find that review as well. Also a hydrating, lightly tinted foundation. But today we're going to talk about the Urban Decay. Now I chose the shade of this off the internet because all the Sephoras in my area here in California have temporarily closed. So I couldn't go in even to see them from afar. I chose shade 30, which is light and neutral. I'm light medium, but I think it was a good one to go with. I do find it a tad bit light on me, but for winter skin, I'm really not hating it at all. What I want to do now is I want to come back with nothing at all on my face, and I am a tad bit blemishy again today. I have had some problem skin the last few weeks, and I think it is due to expired SPF in old foundation. We'll talk about that in other upcoming videos, but I am going to start buying foundation without SPF because it bothers my skin when it goes off after a few months. This does not have any, so this already fits my 2021 bill. So we're going to come back, try this on. I'm also going to show you, I'm going to go into the future a few hours from now and show you how it's holding up in the sunlight outside, and we're going to have a little bit of fun comparing this. I am normal skinned. I am suggestible, so I can go dry if I don't do anything to my skin, and I can go greasy if I do too much. But for the most part, I'm normal, so I'm kind of good to test any kind of foundation, really. So let's get on with it. Stay right there. Okay, so we got our mirror and our Hydromaniac tint. Now, as I mentioned, this is a tad bit light for me, but it's not really bad for a winter shade, and it's always nice to have something really moisturizing in the winter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dot it on. Love this product because it can be applied with the fingers, but I also brought over my trusty little artist brush, and you'll see it's very hydrating. But I'll also show you this on me outside. And I do have a few blemishes, so I'll put some concealer over it. I've just kind of dotted it over, mostly in the center, and we're going to go out. So I'll just kind of show you. As you can see, tad bit light, but I'm going to run it down the neck and bronze it a little bit. Hey, when you are choosing a shade online, you do the best you can. And in person, when I put makeup on over it and bronze it a little bit, it does not, as you can see as I'm blending it in, it does not look too light. It really doesn't, especially if you get down the neck. It's not really too bad, especially with other makeup on, and it feels really comfortable and extremely dewy. So here it is, no concealer, nothing on. We're going to come back and talk about it, and I'm going to show you it outside in sunlight a little bit as well. So stay there. Okay, this is now 4 hours later in my yard after filming, and I want you to take a look. Look at how glowy we are, and I have powdered it. Here it is wearing a little bit, but I have found that when I just kind of rub it in a little bit with my fingers, just kind of a little touch up, it behaves quite well. And as you see, I'm trying to let the light catch it. Definitely I don't have any primer. I just went straight in, and like I said, I did powder, and we're still getting a really nice, kind of pretty, glowy finish. Okay, I'm back. You will by now have also seen a clip from the future, which I'm going to insert before this, that will show you how it's looking outside in the sunlight. But I wanted to tell you right now, I have, as you see, bronzed a little bit, so the color is now working for me. I really have no complaints, especially in the cooler months. It might not be a summer foundation, but it really works in the winter, and that is kind of when you want a dewy foundation, when the weather is a little bit dry. Okay, just to let you know, I did powder this down. It is a very dewy foundation. And you might, if you are bothered by that slightly tacky feel, the slightly sticky feel, you will need to powder this foundation. It doesn't bother me. I enjoy how nice it feels on the skin, but I did powder it, not just with a bronzer, but also with a setting powder, and that gets rid of that stickiness right away. But it will be there if not. It's not like this stuff really sets down the way, say, a matte foundation would. So you exchange one thing for another. But I am very, very, very pleased with it. I also want to add, for those of you who have seen my NARS Air Matte video, I have gotten the Air Matte blush to show a little more by applying it with my fingers and patting it onto the apples of the cheek and not really moving it too much with a brush. That is number one. And number two, I have gotten the lighter shades of the Air Matte lipstick to work by doing what I discussed with part of our community here, Miss BB, and she and I were saying, and she brought it up, that a darker lip liner and maybe a smokier eye, and that has worked with the lightest shade. So thank you to her as usual for her lovely suggestion. So we're having a lot of fun here, and this is definitely a dewy, very pretty foundation. I just want to give you one more look at it inside under studio lights, and I want to know what you guys think if you're going to be purchasing this, or if you have, and how you did on your shade selection. I was discussing it with quite a few people on Instagram, and I'm really happy with mine. We'll see how it goes in summer, but right now I'm super thrilled. Please leave a comment below. I love chatting with you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I hope you did. And if you haven't already done so, I hope you would consider subscribing to my channel, as it makes all the difference. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.